Paulette is a professional model, active financial advisor, and empowered mom. She embodies grace, professionalism, and class in all that she does, giving her all whether she's on the runway or in meetings, and that is what makes her the empowered individual that she is today.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Velasco, and for this series, our topic is being empowered during quarantine. For this episode, we have an empowered professional model, AXA financial advisor, and empowered mom to motivate us to take action. So without further ado, let's welcome the beautiful and amazing Paulette Quinto. Hi, pal.
Hi, Mav. How are you?
I'm good. I miss you.
Yeah.
Long time no see.
Oh, it's been a while since we last talked about it.
Tell me about it. I'm going to ask you about what you've been up to during this period. But before that, can you share with everyone on why you are the empowered and inspiring woman that you are today?
Well, I think basically it's because of my mom and my parents and how they raised me. Like when I was young, I'm an only child, diba? So my mom would always say, like, she would teach me stuff, and she'd always say, "Oh, you're an only child. If we're not here with you anymore, nobody's gonna help you do this or whatever." So she'd always like teach me all the basic stuff, and he made sure that I grew up strong.
And I have to
Yeah.
say, hello to Tita and Tito. I remember spending when we went to Hong Kong for Julmer. That's when
Yeah.
Paulette and I really got to know each other. You know, we've known each other for years, but that's one of the memories that I hold close to my heart because Paulette is such a humble, she's a beautiful soul, and we just get along because she is also into sports, basketball player.
Yeah.
Ito, guys, she is a giant. When did you played basketball in high school, college?
In high school. Actually, I started young with sports, but I started with track and field. And then I transitioned to playing basketball when I went to high school. So I played basketball for like 6 years until I got injured. So then I had to stop. And that's when I entered modeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fast forward into modeling. Who was the one, or like, did you want to model, or was there someone in particular that recruited you to do modeling?
Actually, I never dreamed of modeling. Like when I was young, my dream was to be an Olympian. But then, as you grow up, like your life will change and you'll meet people who would say like, "Oh, you're so tall, you're beautiful, why don't you try modeling?" So it was one of my high school teachers who like forced me to try modeling. So I booked one job, and then Tito Robbie Carmona, he discovered me, and that's how it started.
Yeah, and then like what I said, it was Tito Robbie that brought us to Hong Kong for that fun fashion show. You know, I think Manette's watching and Angel, they were also with us there, and we had like a free day, I think, before the rehearsals, And Paulette and I, since we both have somewhat of a background of being an athlete, we talked, we walked around Hong Kong for 6 hours straight, guys. That's how we got to know each other. And then we met your dad, right? He was there during that time.
Yeah, he was. They went because they wanted to watch the show, but then it was only for exclusive, so they weren't able to. But they just went there to visit me, and yeah.
Yeah, super supportive parents you have there. I love them. They raised such a great woman. Going back to modeling, I know you also joined the pageantry. How did that come about?
Yeah. yes, I did. One time because I was back then the limit was 25 years old. And I was turning 25. So like I said, oh, why not just try it? You'll never know if you win or not. I mean, when I joined, I wasn't competitive at all. I just wanted to be there and see, okay, what's gonna happen here. And then I had fun. I made friends. Until now, I'm good friends with some of the candidates I was with during my time.
And what was the big difference in the pageant world and the modeling world?
Oh, it was different. It was really different. When I joined, since it was kind of spur of the moment, I didn't really have formal training. But there was Tito Kata. He helped me and trained me. And then my friends like VJ Floresca, Alec Africa, Neptali, Esguerra, they were like, okay, let's sit down. Let's practice the Q&A just in case, you get there, at least you'd know what to say because there are things that you have to say properly. And so it was fun. It was fun. It was very different. The walk and how you would carry your clothes was very different. But I had fun.
Yeah, I remember watching you, and I saw your smile. Even though results are what it is, you still enjoyed yourself, and I think that's the main reason that girls have to understand, or anyone that joins pageantry, is that you're in there for the experience. You're in there to learn or to network. And I know that's what Paulette did because, like she said, she met so many friends there. So going back to modeling, what is the criteria that you created for yourself? Not necessarily what people wanted. How did you maintain being a model, a supermodel?
Well, actually, basically, I banked on my attitude. There are lots of models who don't stay long in the industry because they're maarte or mayabang or whatever. And I'm just I just stayed humble, and I respected everyone in the industry, even the manas who would help us dress up in the backstage. So those people are not really that important to other people because they're not seen. But you should respect all of them, and that's how I lasted in the industry. And every once in a while, old designers, they'd contact me and say, oh, can you do a show for me? So I'd say, yeah, sure.
Just like I know we just did a show together, remember, with the recent one for DJ. And it was fun because, of course, you and I have been modeling for quite some time, and just seeing all the new models, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like Twilight Zone. We felt like we were the new ones.
And after time of not modeling, you kind of miss it. Every once in a while, I look back and think, oh, it would be nice to walk again. But if you're there doing it every day again, I'm like, oh, what am I doing here? I don't want this anymore.
But I think for us, what made it fun is we all became sisters. We all became a family in a way, where we would spend time during our work, and then after, we still spend time the traveling, the hanging out, or just having time together like this with Jackie. That's what I miss the most. I think that's why when I came back to the Philippines, I wanted to go in modeling again so I can see you guys, but then it's different now. It's different people. And then here, you and Melissa Fry, of course, are there for me for my youngest son. I really appreciate that. So what would your advice be to aspiring models that want to follow your footsteps? What do you think they should prepare?
Well, first, actually, modeling is like you need to be thin,
Mm-hmm.
like thin and beautiful. Of course, you have to take care of your skin. You have to make sure you take care of your body. So, and you need training. It's
Mm-hmm.
not easy to become a model. Like for me, transitioning from wearing basketball shoes to high
Mm-hmm.
heels was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, I was lucky that there I joined competitions,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I got my training. But
Mm-hmm.
now there are no competitions. There are lots of workshops, modeling
Yeah.
workshops that you can attend, so you can, get the proper training that you need, and at least like have an idea what it is gonna be if you really
Mm-hmm.
want to pursue a modeling career.
Right. No, I agree
Yeah.
with that. What's the most memorable show that you can think of?
Actually,
All those
one of
marami.
the marami, yeah. But yung Jewel mo talaga in
Yeah.
Hong Kong, because it was full production.
Yeah.
Like, you're walking with other models, you're
Mm-hmm.
carrying delicate pearls, and then our gowns were big, and
Mm-hmm.
then there are acrobats. There
Right.
are, like, dancers everywhere. So if you're not focused, you can, like, bump with each other and
Mhm.
get into an accident.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Jewelmer shows were really good. Also the
Mhm.
fashion week
Yes.
talaga. Because that's
Mhm.
where we became really good friends. Like all of
Yeah.
us. That's how we
Mhm.
became sisters. Every like major fashion weeks, we'd all be together. So
Yes.
imagine the time from rehearsals
Mhm.
until the show in the evening, like the whole day we just sit around and talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't be
So
just one show. Sometimes we'd have four or three in one day. I think that's what made it more fun. Um,
uh,
so now you have a daughter, right? Now that you're an empowered mom, how is that transitioning to being a mom and modeling?
um I guess, the things that I learned
Mm-hmm.
while I was modeling, I'm like, trying to teach it to my daughter as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like, I teach her how to dress up well,
Mm-hmm.
how to sit straight and not slouch.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly it's the discipline that I got, like
Yeah.
modeling for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to instill it to her so
Mm-hmm.
that when she grows up and she decides to model as well, then our daughters can be friends, like in the modeling industry, like us, right?
Like us. Like
Yeah,
Annette is saying, and the after party, LOL. Those were the
I
best.
know.
I miss you, Manette. You should join
I
us. You know that? That's the thing,
know.
even though it was a career for us, now that we're all moms, we can look back and we can still hang out or even catch up like this and talk about those good times because we did have real good times. I respect the fashion industry so much from the directors, like you said, from the manangs, from the
Mm.
designers. They really helped us grow into who we are right now. Do you think that modeling and the pageantry really shaped you, and how?
Mm, More on modeling because
Mhm.
the pageantry isn't really that big of a like is an experience for me because I only joined once and
Mhm.
I didn't really train. So it was just like, I just want to try it out. But modeling, yeah, it did. It shaped me to who I am now because transitioning from modeling to becoming a financial advisor, I wouldn't
Mhm.
have that um experience, I guess, in talking to people and that confidence that I have if I didn't model like for a long time,
Mhm.
it would be different, like really
Right.
different.
Who are
Yeah.
your who are your mentors and people or models you looked up to that you wanted to I guess, imitate or copy, or were just inspired by?
You.
Eh.
I always tell
I
you that.
know.
Among like, because we have a lot of friends, but
Yeah.
I always admired how you you took care of your family, how you're that
Uh-oh. Nicole.
hello. Oh
Yeah,
no.
I'm here.
Uh, there's Mommy Angel also, who's been my
Mm-hmm.
mentor when she was the one who encouraged me actually
Mm-hmm.
to join ACTA.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So,
there's a
so
lot
how,
of a group of our friends who inspire me, but there's a lot more that would stand out,
mm-mm.
like you nga and Angel. Yeah.
So what would you, I know, what would you share on how to maintain your figure, how to maintain a healthy lifestyle when it comes to the modeling world?
Mhm. Well, I guess I'm lucky that I have a small frame. So
Mm-hmm.
it's easy for me to like not get fat,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And also my background being an athlete helped a lot because I need to stay active. I can't just like sit around and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole like this whole quarantine, I'd play with my daughter, like we'd run
Mm-hmm.
around, play tag, we'd
Mm-hmm.
play with our dog, carry them. So like I'm thinking, okay, this I'm doing weights, like
Yeah.
carrying my Shih Tzu who is so fat. Like okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining, okay, ito na yung weights ko, and I'm gonna try to do squats
Mm-hmm.
or run with them. Make sure that at least I get a little bit of exercise every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of moms, I'm sure, that want to that are getting fit, that are making or initiating to stay, in shape and taking care of their
Mm-hmm.
bodies. How can you motivate other moms or other women that after having children, it doesn't mean that you cannot take care of yourself?
Um, I think it should come to themselves because you really have to motivate yourself. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know and I understand that after giving birth, you're just like so tired,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the first months.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get enough sleep. You're breastfeeding. You don't even wanna like comb your hair. I
Mm-hmm.
just like in the beginning, I was just tying my hair up because I was tired. I was tired, but then I said to myself that um I can do other things that would make me like fit. For
Mm-hmm.
example, like carrying my baby. So I would do my lunges while carrying her, and like I would sing to her and make her fall asleep at the same time exercising.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always also like take a look of my old pictures and see na, oh, I look different now. I want to go back to that. So that's how I am inspired. And of course, I also look at other women who are very inspiring,
Mm-hmm.
like you. And I know that you're training to you were training before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were teaching tennis.
Yes.
So yeah, to get back in shape. And I also went back to playing basketball with my old teammates. So I'd be inspired, and then I'll get that hunger again to stay active.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just need to start.
Right. Did you ever get like a negative feedback on, let's say, for us, we have children and then we go back, we try to go back to modeling. Was there any negativity feedback? Alam mo naman, modeling is like an open book. So when you put yourself out there, ang daming, you lost weight or you need to lose
Yeah,
weight.
oh,
Did you ever
yeah.
get any of that? And how did you, I guess, inspire yourself to not absorb that?
Yeah, actually, after I gave birth, a month after I gave birth, it was Fashion Week,
Mm-mm.
and I was telling Tito Joey, that, hey, Tito Joey, I'm back. I just gave birth. And it was just a month. So I wasn't really like back in shape. So
Mm-hmm.
like some of the designers were like, oh, you gained weight or like your hips got bigger.
Yeah.
And then I said, I just gave birth. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, what? Really? So I said, okay, if I wanted to do modeling again, I really have to make an effort to get back in
Mm-hmm.
shape.
Mm-hmm.
Because I won't be able to book shows if, I retain my pregnancy weight. So
Mm-hmm.
I just told myself that, like if I want to go back to modeling, then I need to get back in shape, like
Mm-hmm.
back to how I was before. But if I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go to modeling to get back into modeling anymore,
Mm-hmm.
I still need to keep fit. Not
Mm-hmm.
only for me, but for my daughter because I'd be
Yes.
taking care of her.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yeah,
I think,
I just yeah. Yeah, yes, ma.
yeah, go ahead.
Yun. It's all about the mindset, like how you envision yourself to be, because if you can't just stay stagnant, or
Mm-hmm.
else nothing will happen to you. Like you won't reach the your goal weight,
Mm-hmm.
or like how you would want to look.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's already tough for, let's say, young women who are trying to get in the door as a model. For
Mhm.
us, we were a model first, and then we became moms. It's the same. It's parang we're starting all over
Mhm.
again, right? Um, but
Yeah.
it's right what you said. Like for me, also, I was also inspired by other models who were moms already. Like Mommy Angel, you're watching here. You're an empowered woman to us because you were already a mom before any of us, and I looked
Mhm.
up also to Georgette. I don't know, Georgette Pena. She was
Yeah.
always looking so great after every children she has. So I was like, oh, if she can
Mhm.
do
I
it, I can do it,
know.
right? Ikaw nga, you're lucky you didn't really gain as much, even though you thought you did. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there was an incident. Um, I I hope that you don't mind me sharing this, but I won't name any names. I remember, yes, you just gave birth and you came to a fitting, and there was a designer that said, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're like ano yan? Lactating
Thinking
mom."
mother. Oh.
You remember that? That time, we all were like, "Is that
Yeah,
rude?
yeah.
It's kind of rude." But then again, I admired you, pal, kasi you just laughed it off. And at the same time,
Yeah.
you didn't show any like, that you were hurt by it. You were still there, proving that you can do this. And that's something that
Mhm.
I wanted to share today because you said your why, you said your purpose is to take care of your daughter, of course. Um, you're such an inspiring mom too because you somewhat raised your daughter. How she is now because you're such a strong woman.
Mhm.
And Fifi, close friends with my daughter, they just have fun, and I know how much she loves you
I
and looks
know.
up to you. What can you say to her right now? If I guess it's like you telling yourself advice. Like, what would you tell your younger self
Mhm.
if you could?
Okay. Like I would say, just be yourself first and foremost. Always be humble
Mm-hmm.
and don't let like negativity get into you.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you said nga that when that designer told me, oh, you look like a lactating mother, and I smiled and like, yeah, 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 I just gave birth. Oh, really? I'm sorry. Like it was her who felt embarrassed
Yeah.
that she told me that I looked like a lactating mother.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your attitude towards other people. Like always make sure that like you don't take in so much negativity because there's so much negativity around.
Yeah.
Like especially now with what's going on, if
Mm-hmm.
you take all that in, then it'll be hard for you to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So
it
just
it's really there also in the modeling industry. If you want to make it in the modeling industry, you have to have thick skin, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a tough industry. Regardless of how perfect you think you look or you feel, there's always going to be, you're not the right look, you're not the right
Yeah.
size, you have to do this and that. But as Paulette
Mm.
said, you don't have to be what
So
exactly they
sensitive
yeah,
making,
and
right?
sense
Yeah.
what they're saying, because there's a lot of opportunities, right? How many years have you modeled, Paulette?
I would
Like,
say was it 16?
yeah, and you should be proud of that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of girls and boys that wanted to pursue a career that long too, and we were lucky enough
Mm.
to be, I guess, at a time where Fashion Week was so busy. There's fashion shows right
Yeah.
now. It's a bit
Yeah.
challenging to have a fashion show,
Mm.
but for you to share what you learned through those
Mm.
years, it helps a lot of people get ready, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We are in a challenging time, and there is so much that everyone can prepare or do or write down. What would your advice be to those people? Wow.
Um, you know, first I think you should have a goal
Mm-hmm.
and like take it one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like with modeling, for example, there are different kinds of modeling, right? There's commercial modeling, runway modeling, and print.
Yeah.
And like for us big girls, it was super hard to get into commercials
Mm-hmm.
because the lead would be up to here and then you'd be here and
Mm-hmm.
then even if you're in the final casting, you'd still get cut off.
Yeah.
So I think you should also learn to know where you should put yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if since I know that it will be hard for me to get into commercial modeling, so I
Mm-hmm.
focused all my energy into runway.
Right.
And that it goes with other things as well, like in life. If
Mm-hmm.
you think you should take a look if this something is really for you, then you
Mm-hmm.
should go get it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't fall into that category, then just look at something else and try to do something else.
Mm-hmm. And I think to add to that, if you have, let's say, a particular modeling type that you want to get into, there's a lot of free platforms right now, YouTube, or even
Yeah.
any models that you admire. They have, their Instagrams or their social media,
Mhm.
Facebook. You can look into how they pose in pictures, because I think now the advantage is social media becomes the portfolio. Unlike
Yeah.
satin,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had
that's true.
we had to like really complete so many tear sheets. We had to be in
Yeah.
magazines, we had to be this. But Instagram, Facebook becomes that open magazine, and it's
Yeah.
endless. Endless. They're so lucky, right?
Yes, yes. But also in a way, it's a disadvantage for them because
Mm,
there's more competition.
yes.
You know, different, and also it's different when you see someone in pictures
Hmm.
than if you see them in real life.
Yeah.
During our time, it was um it was good because everything happened face to face. Like the
Mhm.
go-sees, they check you, they
Yeah.
measure you,
Mhm.
and the portfolio that we had
Mhm.
is like it's a proof of how good of a model we are.
Yeah.
Right now, it's more challenging, so you have to find a right what platform to be
Mhm.
able to like, show what you can really do. Because,
Right.
for example, for runway models, how can you show that on your Instagram
Yeah.
unless you've done shows? So
Mhm.
you have to think and be creative on how you can market yourself.
Yes. Exactly. And I have to give a shout out to Daniel Tan, who's bringing back all the memories. Did you see that, Paul? All his photos that he took in our events. Manette did you see all that? Angel, like it really brought back memories, all the fun times that we had. So I'm really grateful for that time because, I got to know you, I got to know other friends, other supermodels that are now also moms. I think that's something that kept us, really our bond so strong.
Yeah.
So now that you are part of AXA, now that you mentor the corporate side, how is that in your world?
Actually, now it's we're also transitioning from like doing everything face to face
Mm-hmm.
into doing everything online.
Mm-hmm.
Though it's not that hard for me because my background is IT.
Right.
It's hard because like it's hard to talk to someone who you can't. I'm a touchy person,
Yeah.
so if I'm like talking to someone, I touch and like I want to sit close to that person,
Mm-hmm.
or if I explain, I have like hand gestures and other stuff. So it's difficult, but we can adjust. I'm adjusting. I'm practicing,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, trying my best to like be good in what I'm doing now in
Mm-hmm.
this situation.
Right. But then again, you're inspiring others, right? Apart from, with the modeling, you've become a mentor in my modeling workshop. And I believe you have also other students here tuned in. Jem Gutierrez, she said that would just like to thank Miss Paulette for teaching me the ins and outs of modeling and inspiring me to believe in myself and just have the right mindset to go after my dreams. You are an inspiration to many. See, I told you you are. So, when you mentor people, what is your motivation? What's your mindset? Because, this is obviously you're helping another person's life to be,
Mhm.
motivated.
Um, well, now being a financial advisor, I actually, because I worked abroad
Mm-hmm.
for 4 years.
Yes.
I was my dad is an OFW, and I was an OFW myself. But
Mm-hmm.
um, my drive now is like to help people, especially the OFWs, to learn how to save, how
Right.
because our we're trying to promote financial literacy because
Yes.
now it's a big example of how a lot of people didn't save well.
Mm-hmm.
They're not equipped to handle this kind of pandemic. So
Yeah.
now what I want is to teach people like, okay, this is how you can save your money in the future. This is what you should do. This is how you can be ready for life's uncertainties. And
Mm-hmm.
first, I'm talking about W's because when I worked abroad, I
Yeah.
was still kind of young, so I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really get to save that much.
Right.
And I said, if there was someone like me now who talked to me before,
Yeah.
it would have made a big difference
Mm-hmm.
like in my life.
Right.
Because I'm like right now, I'm still continuously learning
Mm-hmm.
of like the things that I should be doing in order to secure my future.
Mm-hmm.
So apart from learning that, I'm also trying to teach it to my clients
Mm-hmm.
and to people that I meet
Mm-hmm.
through my work.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually, wanted to bring that up. When you were an OFW, you already had
Mhm.
Sophie, right? You already had your daughter.
Yes.
And you could not bring her there because you were working full time. So, how did you
Mhm.
motivate yourself, having, of course, a piece of your heart missing? How did you motivate yourself to make sure that you were okay?
I would always tell myself that I'm doing this for her future.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that I couldn't do it here in the Philippines, but working abroad would help me save faster for
Mhm.
a short period of time, as compared to if I stay here, it'll
Yeah.
be a bit harder for me to like prepare for her future.
Mhm.
Like I would just that and when I left, she was only like 1 year old.
Yeah.
So I tell myself, she won't remember that I was gone.
Mhm.
And I'm thankful to my mom because
Mhm.
she was the one who really took care of my daughter for me while I was
Mhm.
away.
Right.
But actually, my deciding point in coming back was when she said, "Mommy, come back home."
Mhm.
That's when I told myself, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done here. I need to
Mhm.
go back home because She's starting to remember
Yes.
that I'm not there with her."
Mhm.
So now, like, if I ask her, "So, do you remember that I was gone for a long time?" She's like, "No,"
Mhm.
because
But
she
that's,
will still feel
yeah,
that.
she, but that's what makes you the empowered woman that you are today, because you had those certain moments in your life where you had to do big sacrifices to make sure that your future for you and your daughter were okay. And in line with that, Pao, I think this is the right time for you to share maybe words of wisdom to everybody who is feeling down and out right now, and just
Mhm.
share on knowing or hoping or praying that there is hope after all this.
Mhm. Actually, also I forgot to mention that whenever I go through difficult things, I never forget to pray. You know, that faith in the Lord will help you be strong, be resilient, and get through the difficult things that whatever you're going through. Also, I always think that whatever happens now will not stay long. Like, it'll pass. Like this pandemic now, we're all going through difficult times, but I know that this shall pass too, and things will be better in the future. So just make sure that you're uh, doing something to improve yourself
Mm-hmm.
while everyone is still idle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Okay, Pal, before we say see you later, there is a question here, and I think it's going to be a hard question for you because it would be for me. From the 16
Okay.
years of modeling, which is the favorite um, garment or outfit that you ever worn on the runway?
My favorite. Oh my gosh.
Diba? Hirap.
Yeah. But
Most,
I would say
most memorable, I guess.
mga Filipiniana, like
Mm.
the ternos.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was also jewel mer when we wore something like that
Yes.
from Raho.
Uh, yes.
Like when I wore it, it felt like surreal. Like, oh, I'm wearing a Filipina terno, and this
Mm-hmm.
is how like old people back in the day would
Mm-hmm.
dress themselves.
Right.
So it was one of the most memorable shows I've done,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think that's it.
Well, I think when you say that, and I agree, na terno is such a prideful gown or
Mhm.
outfit for the Filipinos or Filipinas, because there's a
Mhm.
certain way that you model it. Not a lot of women know
Yeah,
how. We were really taught
yeah,
by the our really you know talented designers as well as the directors, because
yeah.
like you can say, how do we model a terno? You cannot go like this, right? You cannot put your hands
Yes, that's
like this. That's a big no. How do you do it,
mhm.
Pal?
and
Go
you,
ahead and show us.
and you cannot bounce. Like
Right.
when you walk, you can't bounce. You have
Float.
to emulate being a dalagang Filipina.
Right.
When you touch the terno, you have to like touch it like that, and you have to angle yourself properly because
Mhm.
first, wearing a terno is not easy,
Yes.
and Like, if you're modeling it, you have to show that, oh, this is something nice that you can wear.
Right.
So yeah, it's difficult, but with everything
Mm-hmm.
that you don't know, all you have to do is just practice and try to learn how to do it, and then
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to do it.
Exactly, guys. Maybe, Pal, you can share your social media on how they can reach out to you if they wanted to sign up with AXA or just want to ask you more
Mhm.
questions and advice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/capital F and capital A Paulette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like there are people who message me there asking for help on what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I help them out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I answer all queries, and I try to help people even if they're not like going to sign up to get a policy or something. I still help them because you know I think that a little help to them would go a long way,
Yes.
right? So
Especially right now, and I can attest that Paulette is humble and she's very caring. So even if you ask her anything about life journey, advice, modeling, she will be more than happy to answer you. And I'll also add her social media handles on this caption. I know Pao can talk and talk and talk. We always catch up and laugh, and that's the relationship that we built. But I'll invite Paulette again, for another topic, and I'm sure that you will be inspired by her again. But with that, guys, takeaway from Paulette today is make sure you know your passion or your end goal in anything that you do. There's a lot of time right now that you can do your research. You can write down perhaps a journal on how you want to achieve certain things, whether it be losing weight or just taking care of your skin. There's so many, I guess, information, free workshops out there, or you can just replay this and listen to Paulette again on how inspiring she is with her journey. So with that, guys, actions speak louder than words. And thank you for tuning in on another episode of In Love With Me. Love you, pal.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for watching In Love With Me series.